A criminal case has been launched over the death of the daughter of prominent Russian philosopher and political commentator Alexander Dugin, the investigative committee announced on Sunday morning, adding that a car bomb is suspected as the cause. Darya Dugina, 30, has been officially confirmed as the victim of the explosion outside the Russian capital, the agency said in a statement. According to investigators, a blast ripped through her Toyota Land Cruiser at around 9 p.m. local time on Saturday as she was driving near the village of Bolshiy Vyazomy in Moscow region. It is thought an explosive device detonated inside the vehicle, which then caught fire. The female driver, who was behind the wheel, has been killed on site, the investigative committee said.
Bundesbank chief Joachim Nagel has warned that recession is likely next winter if the energy crisis worsens. On his expectations about the ECB's next interest rate decision on September 8, he said. On his expectations about the ECB's next interest rate decision on September 8, he said, given high inflation, further interest rate hikes must follow. Reuters. The Bundesbank chief has warned that a possible recession will knock on Germany's door if the energy crisis escalates, urging the European Central Bank (ECB) to continue increasing rates. If the energy crisis worsens, a recession seems likely next winter, Joachim Nagel told German daily Rheinische Post in an interview published on Saturday. If further delivery problems are added, for example, due to prolonged low water levels, the economic prospects for the second half would deteriorate further, Nagel added. He stressed that Germany's inflation rate is possible to hit 10% in the autumn months and added that double-digit inflation rates were last measured in the country more than 70 years ago. On his expectations about the ECB's next interest rate decision on September 8, he said, given high inflation, further interest rate hikes must follow.
From efforts to mediate Russia-Ukraine peace to normalization with its neighbors and others, the French daily highlighted how Ankare's foreign policy activism has brought the country to the center of global politics. The Turkish brokered grain shipment agreement allows millions of tons of grain stuck in Ukrainian ports due to Moscow's blockade to reach international markets. The Turkish brokered grain shipment agreement allows millions of tons of grain stuck in Ukrainian ports due to Moscow's blockade to reach international markets. A recent article in the French daily Le Figaro has highlighted how Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's diplomacy efforts surrounding the Russia-Ukraine conflict and the resumption of grain exports represent Ankara's successful foreign policy reorientation. The article, How Erdogan's Diplomacy Made Turkey Indispensable on the International Stage, published on Friday, explains how Ankara's ability to broker the grain export deal is based on an economic, military and diplomatic repositioning that demonstrates a more peaceful and active foreign policy. This approach is praised by the East, West, and Arab world, the article says.
Workers at Britain's biggest container port, Felixstowe, began an 8-day strike over pay, in the latest industrial action. Nearly 2,000 unionized employees at the port in eastern England, including crane drivers, machine operators and stevedores, started their walkout on Sunday morning in the first strike at Felixstowe since 1989. It comes amid stoppages over pay and working conditions across various UK industries, with railway workers just the latest to strike on Thursday and Saturday this week. Postal workers plan a 4-day strike later this month. Telecoms giant BT will face its first stoppage in decades, while Amazon warehouse staff, criminal lawyers and refuse collectors are among the others staging walkouts.
Somali forces have ended a 30-hour siege of a hotel in the country's capital, Mogadishu, according to military officials, with security forces clearing explosives planted by fighters in the building. At least 21 people were killed, and dozens were wounded in the siege, which began when fighters from the Al-Shabaab armed group unleashed a gun and bomb attack on the popular Hyatt Hotel on Friday evening.
Be aware. With the world. APN. Broadcast Service.